You wrote your song, you recorded it, you mixed it, mastered it, and you're ready to go. You put it out on Spotify. But as an independent artist, how many chances do you actually have to end up in one of the big playlists and get a lot of streams on Spotify? According to this study by Music Tomorrow, very, very little, because, well, major labels owns everything. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, welcome back to MixBest TV. Hope you're having a great day. Before we start, please check the info box down below for my mixing courses on Pro Mix Academy, free plugins, special discounts and offers. And of course, if you really want to learn how to mix and master professionally, click the join button down here, become a MixBest TV member, access the already big and always growing library of full mixing courses, start to finish on many different genres, mastering courses and a lot more. And if the videos are helping you, you want to support the channel, please consider using the new super thanks down here. But let's get to the video. All right, so a study was published by Music Tomorrow and then reposted by Musical.ly.com. It's a very, very interesting study. The study is called "The Study Explores Major and Indie Shares of Top Spotify Playlists." So the study was basically conducted to try to see how many songs on the big main Spotify playlist were from major labels and how many from independent artists. And this chart is the answer. As you can see, it doesn't look that good for independent artists. In fact, among the findings, over the last 4 years, major accounted for nearly 70% of the tracks added to the playlist called New Music Friday. And if you're not aware of this, New Music Friday is, among all playlists, the one that is more directly related to who's on top. 30% is UMG, so Universal Music Group, 19% a piece for Sony Music and Warner. Meanwhile, the major shares of additions to Spotify's key hip-hop playlists, Rap Caviar and Get Turned, was even higher over the last 4 years. In fact, it was 86%, while it was 87% for the Today's Top List Hits and Pop Rising playlist. So we're talking about the absolute biggest and most important playlist on Spotify, on every genre, rap and hip-hop, pop, or simply just top 10. The conclusion of the consultancy firm Music Tomorrow, who did the article, where even though making and releasing music has become easier than ever, the support of a major label and its marketing powerhouse is one of the top determinants, if not prerequisites, for getting access to some of the most valuable streaming real estate. And with major labels having 70% of all the biggest playlists, the problem is that the remaining 30% is so scattered and divided between so many different sources. We can take a look at the graphic. The two closest distributors with 5% apiece are AWOL and Orchard, which actually distributes My Artist Bella. Then we have the remaining Empire, Ingrooves, TuneCore, DistroKid, Believe Me, Foundation Media, Direct Fuga, and so on. And the slice of pie at the end gets so little, then a 7% is just labeled simply others. So like I said, I'm pretty sure that everybody who releases music at any level, semi-professional, amateur, professional, knew these already. But I'm curious to know what you guys think in the comment down below. Now, while a lot of people might feel doomed because things don't look that great, it's not all bad. If we dig a little deeper into the MusicTomorrow.com study, there might be a light at the end of the tunnel and a little bit of hope. Between 2020 and 2021, more than 150,000 new artists were added to Spotify editorial playlist for the first time, which is really good. 150,000 new artists in editorial playlist is a lot for just 1 year. But even if that number looks good, the space on editorial playlist, it's still extremely valuable. And here's why. As of 2022, Spotify curated about 5,000 frontline official playlists. These 5,000 frontline playlists have a total capacity of 350,000 songs, with most tracks staying on the playlist for months on end. This means that the Spotify editorial can accommodate only a tiny fraction of the staggering, ever-growing volume of 70,000 new songs added to Spotify every day. And 70% of those 350,000 spots are controlled by 3 majors. There's simply not enough space on the big playlists. But so are independent artists doomed? Well, kind of and kind of not. We've seen the graph for New Music Friday, but things are even worse for the rap charts. Rap Caviar and Get Turned playlists see UMG at 41.7%, Warner Music at 24.7%, and Sony at 21%. And these two playlists alone have over 20 million followers, which make them the most influential playlist in the genre. Today's top hits and pop rising are a little better, but not by much. Let's see. Universal Music at 39.4, Sony at 25.5, and Warner at 21.7, still close to 70%. So while the market is open to everyone from the DIY guys at home to the A-list artists, it's clear that the big three have the most authority and bargaining power. But how does that work? At least part of it. Think about the 70,000 songs added every day, and think about how many songs get pitched to the editorial staff of Spotify or the big playlist, all right? Thousands and thousands every day. So they probably have, what, 10 seconds time before going to the next song? The editorial pitches from major labels don't obviously work that way. They have a 1-hour session in person with the editorial staff where they pitch their song. Not only they have their undivided attention for 1 full hour, but they are gonna come next week and do the same with new artists and new songs. And they do this year round. They are partners, and some of them hold shares of Spotify. The independent artists or even independent labels don't have this one-to-one access with the staff. And even if they did, there wouldn't be enough time in a day, in a week, in a month to see all of them. Besides, the study saw that the playlist shares that they found corresponds to the market share that the respective majors hold to the record market. And that, I'm pretty sure, will not surprise anybody. Good news, like I said at the beginning, it appears to be a light at the end of the tunnel. In fact, the article says there's no need to get too pessimistic about the editorial ecosystem. Well, I want to add, first of all, because that's not the only way to share your music with your fans. We are only talking about the major playlist on Spotify, even though the entire music business is kind of shared in the same way. Many associations have been very active in the past few years and trying to restructure the entire streaming system to get a more fair share to the artists. And there was one in particular, the CMA in UK, the Competition and Market Authority, started a competition scrutiny on music streaming, and I'll link this article down below as well, basically assessing the same thing, that the streaming platform were basically controlled by major label, and CMA were to examine whether or not the platforms like Spotify were giving fair deal to the customers. The good news is that Spotify launched personalized editorials a few years ago and just recently announced a plan to start showcasing influential user playlists on par with editorial ones, which would be very democratic. By doing so, they would be able to cover a much larger set of local genres and style. We'll see if something like that will actually help independent artists and give them more chances to get at the end in those big editorial playlists, or this is just a, hey, here, I'm giving you a few more bigger crumbs. But to close the video on a positive note, indie labels' revenue is steadily growing. Independents, labels, and artists are A, bigger than the standard industry measures suggest, and B, growing faster than the total market. So in short, yes, the major control pretty much everything. We knew that, but there's hope for independent. I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comments down below. All the articles cited are gonna be in the info box. If you like this video, please consider using the super thanks new feature down here. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time, and keep making music.
Hands on my neck, hands grip my throat, lift me up.